Hi, I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial on a different type of assessment. Today's assessment that I'm going to show you is an audio assessment where you create a question and the student responds by recording themselves giving an answer. So in order to create an assessment, I'm going to go to Add Materials, Add Assessment, give it a name, and a due date, and a point value. And you have to remember that you always want to enable the submissions so that students can actually take the test. A grade for the grade book, your grading scale, and you can decide whether you want to individually assign this to students or to publish to students yet, or if this is something for the future. Hit create. And whenever you create any type of assessment, it starts you in the setup screen. Here where you will give the directions, and these are directions that the students will see before they begin the assessment. So it's not for this particular question. These are directions for the assessment as a whole. And you can modify how you want it to look by using all of these tools that are very similar to Word. You have all of these things to choose from. And again, I'm going to choose to use text-to-speech. You want to use text-to-speech if a student has that on their IEP or 504 or ESOL, or if they are a primary student that you want to opt to have the directions and the assessment read to them. You want to make sure this is clicked to yes. Hit save, and then you're going to go to questions, and this is where you start building your assessment. Today we're going to build using an audio question. It's super quick and easy. You are going to write your question, and again, you have these same tools like you do in Word to create the question any way you want. I'm going to make it count to 100. And that's pretty much it. That's your question that you're going to have this, whatever you type in there, whatever you want the students to respond to. The default for their amount of time they have in their recording is 600 seconds, which translates to 10 minutes. You can modify that time if you feel like 10 minutes is too long for response time, but it will default to 600 seconds or 10 minutes. You can add your learning objective, which is always best practices. So I'm going to do that really quickly. If I can find it. And if you have a rubric created that you want to attach here, maybe you made a 4-point rubric, 1 point for counting to 25, 2 points for counting to 50, 3 points for counting to 75, and so on. You can align that pre-created rubric here. If not, you're going to hit save. And that's it. You've created that assessment. It's really, really quick. I want to preview it here to make sure it looks the way you want it to look. This is what the students will see, and you can see here before I start taking the assessment, the directions are on this screen. So this is what the students will see. If you choose to have the text-to-speech, they will just click the arrow and it will read all of this to them. It will say count to 100, and then all the students would do would be click the circle, record themselves counting to 100, hit review. It will then ask them to submit, and they'll say yes. And then it will be in your gradebook to preview. I already have an audio assessment that I created, and I had a fake student response, my daughter. It wasn't really her, it was me. And so I can see that it needs grading. So I would just click on that. And here is, I can hear her response. And then I can click right over, I can go right over here and grade it and say that is a 1 and enter. And now that is graded. And it's that simple.